principles and guidelines for all our government websites. And through this, public service delivery will not only be user-friendly, it'll be transparent and most of all, efficient across all our websites. We have 2 insightful days ahead of us. We'll be brainstorming. We'll be doing a bit of stakeholder mapping while we draw from each other's strengths and experiences to build a truly consistent and unified Nigerian identity through our websites that promotes cohesion for the entire nation.
First of all, there's a generation, they were born with tech. So we have people who don't know how to do things manually. So how would that generation survive? Yeah, so the time is right. Why not now? Nigeria needs to lead the front when it comes to having a unified web standard system, and personally I'm happy to actually be contributing to that.
So persons with disability, especially sensory disabilities, are already marginalized within an already marginalized community. So one way in which the standardization of this Nigerian design webs can go, so that we make sure that there is enough inclusion, is, for example, there should be voice boxes for those that have visual impairment. So the website should be able to speak to you. There shouldn't be language barriers, because most people living with disabilities are also living impoverishedly. So poverty and disability in Nigeria has a sort of positive correlation if you look at research. If it has a correlation with poverty, definitely it will have a correlation with communication, speaking the English language. So if we can make it multilingual, and also if we can make it to have voice boxes, voice over, so that you can speak to this website.
So one of the major feedback I've gotten is that there's people that are willing to make governments better, make processes more efficient, and these people are aware of what needs to be done, and they're actually working on doing it. And obviously there's a lot of work to be done, but that's why we're here, to outline what needs to be done. So we're not just working randomly, but working along a streamlined process.
To me, I feel this actually sets a pace for other, should I say, African countries, because like Nigeria never carry last, right? But at the same time, I believe that being able to set a standard whereby others can see and follow, and the citizens can actually build trust from as in being able to be part of the government, so feeling that the government is including them in each of their decisions. That's one of the things I believe that citizens really want. And I believe with this and the next phase of the project, this will be very helpful.
The workshop has been very, very interesting, and it was a very interactive session. It has brought up a lot of our thinking towards a better service delivery to the citizens, especially via our website. So MDA's website, I think standard website for MDAs is key, and effective service delivery for citizens is key. I think we have gained a lot on that.
There's a lot to do. This is just a beginning, as I see it, and we need to do more. We need to actually, collaborate even more with different stakeholders, as this is not just for the government. It's also a part where private sectors play their role, and also the citizens play their role, and all other stakeholders and people in the country. But I think this is a very good starting point, and also it's the very first step into a lot of things in the future.
It's a laudable attempt. Hopefully training will be added this time, because if we don't skill up the ICT guys in the ministries, in the MDAs, the problems we have faced in the past will continue to exist. So I hope training will be added to this particular attempt, and then we'll see how it goes.
It starts off with having local context, which is why we're trying to make sure there's a diversity of voices on the wheel, and diversity of voices in the conversation we're having. Whether it's to for them to help the team build a pool, a wide pool of the stakeholders, but also in helping us craft the principles.
I see a situation where if in the nearest future, citizens can interact with government agencies end-to-end in websites, so there will be no need to go to the government offices. To also make government offices more efficient, bureaucracy will be reduced. And then talking about the Nigerians' place on the EGDA assessment, last we were 144, and the truth is a lot of initiatives have started. The current minister, and we just that we are yet to get the impact, because it takes time to have impact, So I believe that with time, Nigeria should be among the top 50. Yes, with in fact the ministerial blueprints, the ministry, a lot of the initiatives there are addressing that situation.
I remember prior to coming back to the country, it was a nightmare to get information pertaining to Nigeria. Like, I can't just be sitting somewhere, like I need an information in my country and I can get it without having to call a third party to verify if this information I got is truth. Outdated information, consistency, inclusivity, clean data, consistently renewing the data, because a lot of our websites also carry outdated information. Things are not updated.
For us, success in 5 years would really mean that somebody in Zamfara is able to start and complete a government service online without having to think about if or not to travel to Abuja. It will mean that somebody in Imo State is able to apply, for birth certificates for their child, or apply for death certificates for a loved one who has just been lost. It will mean that Nigerians all over the world are able to interact with their government effectively and get their services rendered to them no matter where they are.
Ruben, a media personnel, is unable to access factual information on government website due to little, no, or unreliable information. The emotion here we see is disappointment, stuck, and frustrated. Then now the interaction with the principal applied. This means that seamless and efficient monitoring and evaluation of all parties involved in acquiring and disseminating information. Ruben now is able to access factual information on government websites because they are reliable and they are sufficient. The emotions Ruben is feeling right now are delightful and confident.
Knowing that this was now a priority for the ministry was super exciting, and I was glad to be part of it. The market woman who wants to come and see her son in London, all of a sudden can just go online and apply for a visa, and she doesn't have to, know a guy, was just something that I felt will be super wholesome to see.
At this workshop, over the last 2 days, we had a mix of designers, developers, governments, workers. We've had people working in private sector. We also have people that build for government currently. We also had civil society organizations come together, sit on a table, and actually think about what it means to humanize the experience for every single citizen of Nigeria, and even non-citizens, on platforms and portals built by the government. And we saw a lot of perspectives coming from different people about their experiences, their expectation, the needs. For example, the need for us to pay more attention to people living with disabilities or people with special needs, or specific kinds of category of people who may encounter challenges or have encountered challenges in the past accessing the platform. So seeing that blending of ideas and perspectives has been very, very good. It's sure to help create standards and a design system that would take us many steps forward in Nigeria.
We would like to thank the participants for attending, and most importantly, our partner and sponsor, the Ike Imokwede Foundation, for making this possible.